What's up, guys? We are here with Martin Weber from URender, which, if you don't know, formerly Tachyon Render, but now rebranded into URender. It is a real-time renderer.
Yeah, it's a real-time renderer. It's using technology like in a game engine. You might know Unity or Unreal Engine. And we were trying to use Unreal in our own productions. And we noticed it's quite a process, and you have to change your pipeline to get the data out of Cinema 4D into Unreal. And once you're in Unreal, you better stay in Unreal, because when you need to make changes, going back and forth is cumbersome. So the main part we were interested was the real-time rendering. We didn't need the animation system or the other stuff of a game engine. So at some point, we decided to bring the rendering technology of game engines into Cinema 4D. That was the starting point for ourselves.
It's a very interesting concept, I have to say. And watching it was. I've been following you guys on Twitter for a while, and it's one that I'm really excited to see the future of and where it's going to go, because, like I said, it's a very interesting concept. Taking like a kind of a game engine, and making it into an actual 3D renderer. But with that, you get a lot of positives, like the real time.
Yes.
So it takes maybe a little bit to load the scene, but as soon as it's done, you can move the camera around and it's just done.
Yeah, that's the important part for us. So if you have a supervised session with a client and the client says, what's when we go more red, or let's move this here, move that there, can we change the light, I don't like the reflections. You want to update this as fast as possible, so you stay in the flow with the client and not have to wait for minutes until there's a picture that the client can see and make a decision on. So that's one aspect. And the other one is, if you're a creative artist, you want to stay in the flow. You want to try things out. You want to experiment. And if you have to constantly wait for render results, that's breaking the flow. And it's getting kind of frustrating. If you would work in Photoshop or Illustrator and would have to wait a minute or two just if you move a layer or change the blend mode, I don't think it would be much fun. So we thought bringing this responsiveness into Cinema 4D would be a really great benefit for an artist.
And so you mentioned Unreal Engine and stuff, and this was kind of the inspiration. Is there anything that you guys are working towards, or any advantages that might help a C4D artist working in Tachyon towards working in Unreal?
Yes, of course. So coming from production ourselves, we know we need multi-pass rendering. We want to change stuff in compositing. You need depth passes, normal passes to relight. I won't have specular or diffuse passes, so you can make changes on the last minute. Or the client wants to color grade a certain object. You need object IDs or material IDs. So we have implemented support for multi-pass rendering, so you can get all the information out of the real-time renderer and continue using it in After Effects like you used to. And in contrast to game engines, they have a focus on performance, so they absolutely need to run at least at 30 frames per second. And it's okay if rendering is running with 5 or 6 frames per second. Right. You still see the updates.
Oh darn, 5 or 6 frames per second render.
Yeah. And the other stuff we are thinking about is how we can increase the quality of our game engines. We are right on the start still with our development, but we are thinking how we can have better transparencies or have multi-frame sampling so that anti-aliasing is less of a problem and all that stuff, or crank up certain aspects that would not run in real time. So you can work in real time, crank up some parameters, it's running maybe in 2 or 3 seconds per frame, and you're still getting quick results.
Yeah, and the feedback when you're moving around your camera is it's instant, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what amazed me, is that literally you can move around the scene, as you can see behind us, and it is it's just instant.
Yes.
There's no re-sampling or anything like that. It's just instant.
Yes.
Yeah. And okay, so another thing, that's different from you guys versus like a lot of the other render engines out there. You know, you've got V-Ray, which uses, you know, both CPU and GPU. You've got Octane, which is NVIDIA only, you know, as well as Redshift and all these other ones. This will work on any GPU that there is, with the exception of Intel. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we have it running on AMD and NVIDIA. We're using OpenGL to access the hardware, so that's working great. With Intel integrated graphics, we have a couple of minor issues, but we are looking into it. So the goal is that it also runs on an integrated hardware. So if you're traveling or meeting the client and you have only a small notebook with you, you might also get real-time running there. The performance would be not as good as with, let's say, 1080.
Yeah. I was gonna say, you're running this. This is just a 1060, right?
This is running on a 1060.
Yeah, and it was still like
Yes.
super fast, very snappy.
Yeah, most of our videos we've shared on our Vimeo channel or YouTube are actually captured on GTX 1060.
Now, let me ask you this: would there be any advantages working with multiple cards?
The benefits are not that big with OpenGL.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, with Cooler you get huge improvements because it's spreading the workload across multiple cards. With game engines, they have the SLI interleaving, etc., but it's not resulting in such performance boosts. And in the past there have been some problems with stability. So right now we don't test it on multi-GPU systems. It's running on a single GPU.
See, that's amazing to me that it can be so quick like that and still just running on one single GPU. Yeah. Well, awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really excited. Is there one particular like area that you're really excited about for people to get their hands on?
Yeah, we are really curious to get feedback from users. I think we are in a pretty good shape right now. There are a couple of things that are still missing, which we are working on, but we should have a beta soon, and are curious to hear the feedback from users, what they want to see, where we need to make improvements so that they really can use it in production.
Where can people find you guys online?
Our website is on u-render3d.com.
Okay. And on Twitter?
On Twitter, it's urender3d, and on Facebook also.
Thank you so much. Stick around on the NAB floor for more videos coming throughout the week. Thank you.